Hi everyone, this is for my students of architecture. Others can kind of scroll down. Maybe you can hit a like. Alright. So, you see, I had been practicing as an architect for the past 2 decades across India and abroad. With my hands on experience in designing numerous projects, I've gained some real life insight, which I keep sharing with my students of architecture. Well, let me tell you know, the 5 very basic ways in which an architecture student can get immediately started like a real world entrepreneur. You know what? As architecture students, you guys are a rare breed. You guys are creative, perfectionists, who are ambitious enough to accept all nighters as a norm. But far too often, you tend to ignore the financial value of your skill set and complain about the lack of job prospects and stuff like that. Why so? Why would a field of study that teaches students to envision and create wonders so subjectively ultimately generate graduates who should view their career path so objectively? Think about it. I had published a very detailed article on this particular topic. Go back to my page and check it out sometime. I think there needs to be a paradigm mind shift of the architecture students and probably their parents as well. Ask yourself, how can I monetize my skill set? As opposed to, how long should I wait until someone hires me? Why wait hat in hand for job interviews? These 5 ways, which I'm going to tell you, are some of the many ways in which you can immediately generate some income, as a side hustle or to capitalize your arsenal of valuable skill sets that you have, and make a couple of bucks instantly. Student of architecture can take a note of this. Point number one, 3D rendering service. All-time favorite, time-tested and cool. When I was working as a principal architect for a Singapore government company that specialized in multidisciplinary consultancy business, I noticed that we were spending far too much of the drafting budget trying to sell very basic level iterative drawings to our clients. So most of your clients throughout your career will not be architecturally trained, the very reason why they have come to you in the first place, and will not be able to visualize in 2D. You need to show them 3D visualizations of your concept for it to be sellable. 3D visualizations are expensively time and manpower consuming, and when it needs to be changed over and over again, you lose out a lot of money. Better you outsource it for some smaller works. Yeah. Imagine how quickly all these would have wrapped up. First meeting, I would meet with the client to discuss their design ideas and understand the relevant scope of works. Second meeting, I would show them 3 different views of basic sketch models and have them agree upon one of them. In the subsequent meetings or over the emails, I'd send progress shots with inquiries and altered designs based on their feedback until we reach a final agreement, which can be quickly outsourced and procured. In between, payments could be collected, ideally at 3 different stages: one very before beginning the job, one after the first submission, and after the final submission, the last one. So, how can a student start? Students can use a portfolio as your advertising tool. I would suggest setting up a small online portfolio and advertise your business or whatever services that you are selling by your social media platforms. One thing in particular, which has failed me personally many times in my early days, make sure to agree upon the exact number of perspective views and the rates even before you start working on it. Clients sadly have a tendency to change those views many times throughout the process of your design, not realizing how frustrating it can be for you if you have already done the final renderings. I have burned my fingers doing this, and so I would suggest it is best if you agree upon an additional charge if the client asks for a change. Right? Point number two, basic drafting service. Different states or provinces are likely to have different requirements for submission of basic sanction drawings, but there is always a need for qualified people to produce such drawings. All building sanctioning departments require submission in a very specific format of their own as per the relevant codes and building bylaws of the land, which is where your drawing skills can be of great assistance. As for the payment, of course, it's both okay to collect an hourly basis of a payment or payment by the job. But if you ask me, I would personally prefer to take a on-job basis of a payment. Yeah. Point number three, starting a how-to blog. Have you just passed IGBC, LEED AP, or such exams? Are you an expert in some drawing software? What can you really do which you can teach others online? Blogging is a little longer path to produce regular income, but there are many people who make money by blogging, of course, sharing their online skills. And if you can teach, I always keep saying this, the more you teach, the more you learn. Point number 4, create a YouTube channel. If you are anything like me, every time you have some problem with your AutoCAD or Revit issue, you go back to the YouTube for solutions. More often than not, the solution is there. Why? Because you are not alone. Someone else has already had that issue and someone else had already solved that issue. Yes, of course, you aren't the first one to do that, but who cares? I mean, if you are good at a particular thing or a program or communicate well in something, your services may be of high demand somewhere. Yeah. So go ahead, find a niche. So you are more likely to be successful in a targeted audience. Finally, point number 5. Why not take advantage of platforms that were created for people like you? There are a lot of great platforms available online for freelancers work to do. Google them out for yourself. You can simply get started by creating a profile one of these websites and bidding on your first project. Your first freelance job can be started as your own freelance business. Sounds simple, isn't it? Let me reinforce my point behind all of this. What I sincerely believe and keep teaching, a school of architecture draws creative and proactive people who are trained to innovate and adapt. Therefore, why can't these skills be implemented for entrepreneurial ventures? You can and you must. Don't accept the status quo like other engineering graduates, and more importantly, don't fall victims to all that negativity around you. You hear about there are no jobs in the market and for graduates and stuff like that. Pick a service, advertise your work, network well, and good opportunities are bound to come to you. Yeah. Having said all of that, I strongly believe an architect will always be a student, constantly learning, because there's a lot to learn. Let's discuss your thoughts on this particular topic. Comment in the box below. I'll get back to you. See you.